when we come down to this very important point, which is quality assurance, and now the new thing is to add this another domain, which is a complete field of course, and that is of management. So quality assurance management, it refers to the process. I'm going to highlight the important factors on screen so that you would be able to refer back whenever you would like to. So when we talk about QAM, which is quality assurance management, it refers to the process. So the key words here is, the first keyword is process. It's how you get into something systematically. It's not all about the definitions or technically going about it. It requires a complete process to get involved into. And whenever this word process comes there, then it requires a lot of responsibility from your side, because when I say use the word process, it means that you really need to get involved into a kind of an activity which would demand a complete set of stages, and you just cannot rush. You have to proceed, you have to go about everything systematically. And of course, you have to ensure that you're not skipping anything out of it. आप ऐसा नहीं है कि आप एक स्टेज से नेक्स्ट स्टेज पे फौरन जंप कर जाएं. You have to make sure that you are, I mean, if that is something very important, because you have to follow each and every step of it very religiously, very clearly, and you have to make sure that you're not losing a track of anything, because where you are going to lose a track of any single element, you will get sold out completely. So the very first important point that I've highlighted here is about the process. And after process, there comes the next key word in the code, and that is methods. Quality assurance management, with that I'm going to make use of the word QAM. It refers to the process and methods used to prevent mistakes. Now that is important. Why are we getting involved into this process, and why do we need to learn these methods, or why we do need to adopt these methods? The reason is to actually prevent. And what to prevent? To prevent, number one, of course, to prevent mistakes is actually something very important. To prevent mistakes is the first point. And then inconsistencies and defects in manufactured products. So while we are getting down to this process, we are getting involved into this process so that we would be able to prevent ourselves from committing mistakes, inconsistencies, and facing or confronting defects in manufactured products, because that is something where you can't assure customer satisfaction, client satisfaction, and then on the top of everything, your own personal individual repute is also involved. So it's actually a process, and where you really need to follow certain methods, and the core purpose of it is to prevent mistakes, inconsistencies, defects in the manufactured products. Now, preventing problems with the delivery of products or services to customer is also a core component of quality assurance. So, because ultimately customers are important, they are for whom we are actually there. So we just cannot ignore. So it's actually a process, method, prevention, and for the whole purpose of the cycle is actually customer satisfaction at the end of the day. So when I say quality assurance and quality control, the ins and outs cannot be, you just cannot forget it. You just cannot ignore it. It's not a one-man show. though leadership skills are required and they are mandatory, but you just cannot ignore the fact that it requires a teamwork. It requires an amalgamation of certain characteristics to come together. When we talk about QAM, which is quality assurance management, it is actually a combination of quality assurance, number two, quality control, number three, quality management as well. So you just cannot detail this cycle. You have to make sure that every bit of it is well knitted and well constructed. Let me give you an example of a very quick example, which may appear a bit of. I have selected a very random example from your daily life. Let's take an example of a bakery that wants to maintain consistent quality in its cakes. Now, online business, and when we talk about product launches and stuff like that, though we are working with big organizations at the moment, but we are quite aware of the fact that the little startups in terms of business, and they are also launching their products, and they are the ones who don't have any formal background the way we have of quality control and assurance and everything, though they are giving their best. So quality assurance in this case would involve establishing a set of standards, number one, processes to ensure that each cake meets those standards. And while driving out or going back to homes, you must have seen that there are a number of big shops out there opening up every other day, like they're just popping up on the roads and streets around your homes, around your workplaces, just like mushrooms. And they have to have this quality assurance. And if we talk about the bakeries, then quality assurance in that term, this may include using specific ingredients, following a recipe, monitoring the baking process, performing quality checks on the finished products. Now, ये example एक bakery का हो सकता है, but when we talk about quality assurance, it includes these factors which cannot be ignored at any stage, using specific ingredients, following the set recipe, monitoring the process. I won't say the baking process, because baking process, if we talk about the corporate sector, you can talk about the ingredients that you get together, you blend together, you gel in together, and that's how you bake the thoughts and ideas. Yes, and performing quality checks on the finished products. That is very important. You just cannot, yes, when you are done with the whole process, you have systematically followed it, you have actually incorporated all of the things. And at the end of the day, when you have actually come down to...
Madam, Mr. Anas, I have a question.
Sir, I would like to, if you allow me to do so, I'm going to give them a proper time to add in their knowledge as well.
Okay.
So just after 5 to 10 minutes, I'll allow the participants to come up with their own ideas as well. So because the main reason of this session is not, we are not here to teach anything. We are here to share our experiences, so that we would be able to get benefit out of it. So coming back to this example of quality assurance, और जहाँ पे मैंने इन 4 points को systematically number down किया, list down किया, it's actually something very important. Using specific strategies, skill, following the process, monitoring the process. It's not just following it, it's actually monitoring it. And when we say monitoring, it means that monitoring, it requires counter check, cross check, then again check, and checking and rechecking, and so on and on. And what kind of a checking it would be then? It would be performing quality checks on the finished product as well. Randomly, when we work, we have this tendency or we have this culture at our workplace that when we are done with the final the product launching is done, we try to make sure that we don't go back, we don't revisit the performing quality checks on the finished product. So this is also something very important. And when we talk about by implementing these quality assurance measures, of course, if we talk in terms of a bakery, can ensure that each cake meets the desired level of quality. When we are working within a industry or when we are working in different sectors, corporate sectors, we have to ensure one thing, and we are there just to meet the desired level of quality so that the customers can trust that they will receive a consistently high quality product every time they would visit. So that is something very, very great of greater value. After coming down to this point where we have learned about quality assurance management, where we have learned that it's not it's not an activity that could be completed in a day or two. It's not an overnight show. It's not a one-man show at the same time. It requires a team lead. It requires a complete team a team of qualified members to be there. And when I use the word team, जैसा कि बिल्कुल शुरू में one of my friends, they actually pointed out a very important thing. And the important thing that they pointed out in the very beginning, that was that it's really very difficult to change human behavior. And that is something which is a reality. We cannot change human behavior when the point comes of talking about, the expectations, because human behavior is not just about dealing with them. It's about convincing them. It's about dealing with their changing their mood swings as well. You just cannot expect a person to come to your place or your office with the same zeal and zest. So you just cannot expect consistency in terms of behavior, and because that is human behavior, and to all is human. Humans are actually designed in such a way where they actually they actually commit mistakes, and that is humanly possible. But the problem or the thing that when we talk about quality assurance, the matter of fact is not actually to identify the mistake or to identify the problem. Yes, that is the initial part of it when we are involved into pilot study, but the main core area is to find a solution to the problem. And that is what we are here for. And that is the main crux of QAM, Quality Assurance Management. And it would allow you to get a command over the set of skills which are required. Differences between QA and QC. जब हम quality management assurance में involved हैं, we come across two of these terminologies like every day, and because that is how we work. जब हम process की बात करते हैं, जब हम methods की बात करते हैं, so two of these factors are integral, and we just cannot detach them. You have to carry them side by side all the time, because that is ultimately going to allow you to have this management, a command over management. Difference between QA and QC. So the quality system is actually revolving around this cycle of QA and QC. And you can actually see the the core of the whole cycle. It's lies there in quality control, which would give way to quality assurance. And this quality assurance would actually construct a quality system of an organization. So if I very quickly, we are aware of them, of the technical terms, but we are not quite aware of them. Let me just revise it very quickly for us, of course. So when we talk about quality assurance and quality control, they are the two terms that are often used interchangeably and we synonymously at times as well. But there definitely is a difference between two of them. Although similar, there are distinct differences between the two concepts, and that is something very important to know. I've tried to add and highlight the important distinctions there, and they are there, and we'll be able to. They are there, and they can actually achieve it. The difference could be seen. So if we talk about the left side of the slide, that is quality assurance, it's actually part of quality management focused on providing confidence that quality requirements will be fulfilled. So it's actually the quality requirement. Quality assurance is actually the quality requirements which are required to be fulfilled. And they are very important. And when we talk about the quality requirements which are required to be, it's actually providing confidence and management focused. The confidence provided by quality assurance is twofold: internally to management and externally to to customers, government agencies, regulators, certifiers, and the third party. An alternate definition is all the planned and systematic activities implemented within the quality system can be demonstrated to provide confidence that a product or service will fulfill requirements of the quality. Now, if we compare this information with quality control is simpler in its approach. Quality control can be defined as a part of quality management focused on filling the quality requirements. While quality assurance relates to how the process is performed or how the product is made, quality control is more the inspection aspect of quality management. So it's actually the inspection aspect, which is controlling, which is monitoring, which is not just planning and directing. Planning and directing, they actually they are included in a way in the quality assurance side as well. An alternate definition is the operational techniques and activities used to fulfill requirements for quality, of course. So when we talk about the quality assurance and quality control, of course, the objective of quality assurance is to avoid defects. And the objective of QC is the identification and improvements of defects. QA is a method to manage quality, whereas QC is a technique for the verification of quality. QA does not include the execution of the program. QC always includes the execution of the program. QA, for instance, is verification, and that is very beautifully quoted here. QA is actually the verification, whereas QC is the validation. So verification versus validation. And QA ensures that the right thing is being done, and whereas QC, quality control, ensures that the results of what is being done are what is anticipated. So before I move towards the the history, I would like you guys to take 5 minutes and think about your own departments that you are a part of, कि कब कहाँ आपको, you were very much prepared, you were you were going in the right direction in terms of quality assurance, लेकिन जब quality control का वक्त आया तो आपने ये देखा कि there was something missing. So I'm giving you 5 minutes, very silently, think about an incident or a situation where you were quite fine, you did well in terms of quality assurance, but couldn't achieve the quality control of the product. So I'm talking about verification versus validation. That is something what I'm focusing on. So you have good 5 minutes, and soon after 5 minutes, kindly raise your hand and we would allow you to share your knowledge. So you have 5 minutes for this activity. Thank you.
In the meanwhile, Ms. Badriya, we have 2 questions from the participant, Dr. Farhan Ali Tariq. The chat box is saying that what is a difference between quality by testing and quality by design approach? Please explain the scope of QBD. It is related to QA or QC.
Okay. I would like to request my participants to actually remain patient, because this is something, sir, we are going to discuss in the later of the slides, and the examples would definitely be there. So that would be there, of course. And meanwhile, when you will be doing this activity for 5 minutes, you would definitely be able to tell me in a better way the answer to it. Thank you so much. But Zahid Saab, I would like to clarify one thing at this point, so that ताकि कोई confusion ना हो. When I use the word quality assurance management and quality assurance system, they are synonymous terms. They are actually same, and these are just हम एक terminology उसके लिए synonymously use कर रहे हैं. Why name differently? Because you can make use of different synonymous terms. That is the reason. But when we talk about the quality assurance system is just like code of conduct, that things that you should do. But when we talk about quality assurance and we add this word management to it, Zahid Saab, so ये आपके ऊपर एक added responsibility आ जाता है, because you are not there just you are not just there for quality assurance, but you are there to monitor the management of it as well. So I hope you must have got bit of your answer, and the rest of it will be answered in the later slides. Thank you so much.
Is requested from Mr. Talha to show the slide number 6, please. Thank you, madam.
You are more than welcome, sir. We have got a request from Miss Laiba, I believe, if I'm not wrong. Yes, this is Laiba. Miss Laiba, it's Adria with you right now. I'll try to remain bilingual because that everybody would be able to understand. Thank you so much, Gurdia. Thank you.
Requested to all participants, please mute your mic.
Okay, so I believe we have already provided the participants with sufficient time to revisit their experiences about a situation जहाँ पे they were very much and I would like with the permission of NPO, I'm just going to mention here that I've got, because it has been requested to me that I should remain bilingual. So अब से I'll try my level best कि मैं अपना session bilingually ही conduct करूं ताकि the main aim is to share our experiences ताकि किसी को भी कोई problem face ना करना पड़े.
Yes, definitely. Thank you, madam.
Oh, welcome. And I'm really very sorry. अगर पहले ये mention हो जाता तो हम पहले ही ऐसा कर लेते. But it's good to go with from the mid. So the activity जो मैंने assign किया था, that was a situation. You had to visit a situation जहाँ पे you guys were very much ready with your quality assurance system, and you were quite hopeful about the product launch. लेकिन एक ऐसी सिचुएशन जैसे आपको गुजरना पड़ा हो कभी अपने प्रैक्टिस में जो क्योंकि माशाल्लाह यहाँ पे काफी वेल एक्सपीरियंस्ड लोग हमारे साथ हैं who have been like working in this department for like quite while. So I really want you to share your experiences कि कभी ऐसा कोई situation जहाँ पे you faced a problem in terms of quality control, in terms of maintenance या कोई client कस्टमर क्लाइंट इंटरेक्शन में कभी आपको प्रॉब्लम फेस करना पड़ा हो तो वहां पे डिफरेंसेस ऑफ बिटवीन क्यूए एंड क्यूईसी तो ऑब्वियस है और इसके बाद अगर हम ये बात करें कि जहां पे आपको वेरिफिकेशन ऑफ द प्रोडक्ट एक्सीलेंट था लेकिन वैलिडेशन ऑफ द प्रोडक्ट में प्रॉब्लम फेस करना पड़ा. So the house is open for the participants. Kindly raise your hand. I will take your participant who would actually share their views. Thank you. कि क्या participants को थोड़ा और time चाहिए to think about an incident or they are actually ready to share their experiences. I repeat my question. Do you want more time to think about a situation to come up with the right answer, or are you prepared to go ahead with your experience? Sir Fahad, what do you suggest me to do? Should we give them some more time to think?
Just a second, please repeat.
I really want to know कि एक्टिविटी के लिए हमने 5 minutes असाइन किया था पार्टिसिपेंट्स को, जहाँ पे उन्हें एक ऐसी सिचुएशन के बारे में सोचना था जहाँ पे they were ready with QA but they actually faced trouble with QC. Do you want me to give them more time? I want you to ask the participants if they are ready for their answer or they need some more time to think over it.
डियर पार्टिसिपेंट्स, अगर आप रेडी हैं तो आप मुझे चैट बॉक्स में ओके कर दें फास्टली, ताकि हम इसको फर्दर प्रोसीड करें, क्योंकि आपको पता है कि रमजान है तो एक तो टाइम शॉर्ट है, 1 o'clock तक है, तो मिस कह रही हैं कि हम लोग आगे फर्दर प्रोसीड करें। जो उन्होंने क्वेश्चन किया था आपको रिलेटेड टू क्वालिटी एश्योरेंस एंड क्वालिटी कंट्रोल डिफेक्ट विद रिस्पेक्ट टू योर डिपार्टमेंट्स।
in the chat box and they are more like okay, and which means that I should proceed further. And I believe that after a while you guys would be in a position to interact and share your experiences in a better way. We were talking about the difference and the basic difference between QA and QC. And we are quite aware now, we are in a position to understand that how much different and how much relevant they are with our main area of concern. So when we talk about QA and QC, ignoring the history would definitely be a sin, I believe. हमें थोड़ा सा history में जाना चाहिए. तो अगर हम quality की बात करें, एक simple as a terminology अगर हम quality की बात करें तो इसको define किया जाता है fitness for use, conformance to requirements and the pursuit of excellence. तो ये काफी आइडियल, मैं कहती हूँ कि एक आइडियली कंस्ट्रक्टेड टर्मिनोलॉजीज हैं जो कि प्रैक्टिकली अचीव करना बहुत टफ है, because when I use the word fitness, it means a world to me, because and we have to, मैं बार बार ये बात करूंगी कि जहाँ पे हम QA और QC की बात कर रहे हैं and we are talking particularly about QA management, we just cannot ignore one important fact, and that is, we just cannot ignore one important fact, and that is, you know, just a minute. Okay, we just cannot ignore one important factor, and that is human behavior, because we have to acknowledge that at the end of the day, no matter what kind of position that we are working on, or what kind of a designation we have entitled with, we have to make sure that at the end of the day, all of us are human beings, or as a human being, to err is human. And this thing, and ये realization का ये मतलब नहीं है कि हम हमेशा गलती करने के लिए ready रहें, मगर इसका ये मतलब है कि अगर हमसे कभी कोई चीज मिस आउट हो जाए तो हम उसको as a human nature accept करें कि yes, you cannot be perfect, you just cannot give, you can actually give your perfect or best of your effort, but you know the results may not alienate, may not be aligned, or may not be as desired as they were actually assumed to be. So, conformance to the requirements, of course, the pursuit of excellence, even though the concept of quality has existed from early times, the study and definition of quality have been given prominence only in the last century. ऐसा नहीं है कि क्योंकि देखें business setups right from the very beginning, जब से इंसान है तब से तिजारत है, और जब से तिजारत है तब से quality assurance और quality तिजारत मैंने इसलिए यहाँ पे ट्रेड का वर्ड यूज किया बिकॉज ये वन ऑफ दोज ये वो बिजनेस है जिसका हम हिस्ट्री से जो ट्रेस आउट कर सकते हैं, बहुत एंशिएंट हिस्ट्री से, the buying and the selling, the customer and the client, and so on and on. So quality assurance and quality controls of right from the ancient times exist करता है, लेकिन recent years में the matter of fact is that because with the ever-growing and with the rapidly growing business demands and product quality assurance. So this field, the definition of quality, have only been given prominence only in the last century. So that is something which is important. So when we talk about the quality control, as I've already mentioned, कि ऐसा नहीं है कि अब हम इस पे बात करने लगे हैं. अगर आप देखें तो 1920s में quality control was actually there. Following the Industrial Revolution, the rise of mass production, it became important to better define and control quality of products. Originally, the goal of quality was to ensure that the engineering requirements were met in final product. Later, manufacturing processes became more complex. Quality developed into a discipline for controlling process variation as a mean of producing quality products. So if we compare it with the with quality assurance and auditing, तो ये एक added है. मैं वापस अगर अपनी पहले वाली slides की तरफ जाऊं, तो आपने यहाँ पे देखा होगा कि quality control बिल्कुल core value है और वो that gives way to the quality assurance, and that is how the quality system is being maintained. So यहाँ से अगर हम history को भी trace out करें, तो complement भी इसी diagram को करता है कि quality control that was actually there in 1920s, whereas quality assurance and auditing, they actually entered our field in 1950s. And why? What was the reason कि ये auditing and quality assurance शुरू हुआ? The quality profession expanded to include the quality assurance and quality audit function. Now the ones who belong to the corporate sector, or majority आज हमारी participants की corporate sector से है, HR से है, quality assurance से है, so they would be in a position to understand that the audit function is very crucial. If we talk about the finance department or about the quality assurance or any other department, any and every other department, audit function and quality audit function is very important. The drivers of independent verification of quality were primarily industries in which public health and safety were paramount. But later on, ये expand होता गया and things actually started looking from a better perspective. They actually continue. अब हम अपनी session में, we are going to talk after getting to know about the basics of in fact, I won't say getting to know or getting introduced with, because I'm already in departments में काम serve कर रहे हैं. I'm already in terminologies called QA, QAM, QC. In सब जो terms हैं इसमें we are quite aware of them. And we know the system and we know the procedure and everything. But there is one thing which is very important, and that is to learn quality assurance as a skill. This is the main purpose of today's training. और यही वजह है कि हम आज we are here together, we are sitting together here to learn how to, okay, we know everything about the history, about the process, about the definition, मगर हम सिर्फ definitions की हद तक ही इस वक्त तक discuss कर चुके हैं. But how to learn it as a skill? मैं हमेशा ये believe करती हूँ कि अल्लाह ताला ने हर इंसान को एक added quality दी है, और वो added quality या तो leadership की है या फिर management की है, मगर इसका वजूद जरूर है और बरहक है. So you really need to identify what kind of quality, एक added quality अल्लाह ताला ने वो कौन सी quality है जिससे आप लोगों को नवाजा है. आया वो leadership quality है या वो management quality है. You are good at leading the team in a better way, or you are good at managing the team in a better way. So दोनों चीजें बहुत important है. So when we talk about quality assurance, is actually a process of establishing and maintaining specified standard of excellence when producing and distributing products or services. This process ensures products and services are reliable, fit for purpose. So ये है the process of assuring which is impaired. Now, adhering to the quality assurance guidelines has several benefits for business and including अब हम कर क्यों रहे हैं? That is the question. हमें पता है कि क्या है, मगर क्यों कर? The Q is required. Now this is not a Q. This is a Q of Urdu, which is required to be answered. But why is it required? Why is it required in a way? And what is the main idea or what is the main purpose behind it? So this Q is actually adhering to quality assurance guidelines and several benefits. And these benefits are number one, increased consumer confidence. बहुत important है to maintain or to create this trust relationship among the providers and the receivers, of course, the manufacturers and the clients as well. So increased consumer confidence as consumers learn they can rely on the business products or services. So if they have this, if you have established this trust bond between your clients and customers, so your customers would definitely वो आपने वो एक हम randomly हम बात करते हैं कि जब आप किसी के साथ किसी को 100% ऑफ एफर्ट आप किसी के लिए करते हैं और किसी को 100% एफर्ट और बहुत ज्यादा अच्छा ट्रीट करते हैं तो that person is going to revisit you at the time of their no I won't say problem मगर जब जरूरत होगी तो आपकी याद जरूर आएगी. So this yard is the trust relationship that you really need to establish between your I mean, it should be there. आप और आपके client होना चाहिए. No, it's not just the product trust relationship. It's actually the manufacturer's trust relationship. Improve business reputation as they become known as the quality provider. आप अपने हर domain में you are apart from your designations, आप quality provider हैं. And if you are आप कॉर्पोरेट सेक्टर में है आप इंडस्ट्रियल सेक्टर में है आप एजुकेशनल सेक्टर में है तो आप किस भी वॉक ऑफ लाइफ से बिलोंग करते हैं या मेरे ख्याल से अगर यू आर नॉट इवन वर्किंग एनीवेयर एंड यू आर मैनेजिंग योर होम और द डोमेस्टिक चोर्स even then you are a quality provider. और ये अल्लाह ताला ने हमें बनाया ही इसीलिए है because we are here to provide quality and in terms of everything. And quality comes when, of course, when we try to provide our clients with a kind of perfection, of course, higher efficiency. As quality assurance focuses on preventing mistakes, so there are fewer errors. अब देखिए मैंने यहाँ पे ये नहीं लिखा in there are no errors or there will be no errors. मैंने ये कहा है कि higher efficiency level होगा और वो क्यों होगा? क्योंकि quality assurance and QAM focuses on preventing mistakes. तो जब आप एक ऐसे फेज में चल रहे हैं जहाँ पे आपको है कि आपसे कोई गलती नहीं होनी चाहिए, should prevent the mistakes और वो prevention कैसे आप अचीव करते हैं? वो prevention आप परेशान होकर अचीव नहीं करते, stressed out होकर अचीव नहीं करते, anxiety में अचीव नहीं करते, बल्कि वो prevention आप इस तरह से अचीव करते हैं कि आप code of conduct और policy और जो इंस्ट्रक्शंस हैं आप उनको फॉलो करते हैं और जब आप उनको प्रॉपर्ली फॉलो करते हैं तो अल्टीमेटली व्हाट यू विल बी डूइंग यू विल बी लाइक प्रिवेंटिंग द मिस्टेक्स सो देयर आर फ्यू एरर्स ऑफ कोर्स इन अ वे. So when we talk about this prevention, so when you are actually preventing the mistakes, so there would be like chances of committing fewer errors. To err is human. मैं बार-बार ये repeat कर रही हूँ. To err is human. इंसान ही गलती करता है. लेकिन जब you are following this preventing mistake, so there will will be like fewer errors. Of course, you would actually, this is something which is how it is. Of course, yes, time भी कम है, but time consume, the kind of time that you consume is actually, the consumption is very much justified, I think. So reduced waste, as products are created to this specific quality level every time. So जो reduced waste है, जो waste products हैं, जो repairs हैं, या जो up to the mark quality आप product की नहीं है, वो आपका reduced waste होगा ultimately, because being while working with an industry, you really know that the waste products are and you just cannot. And मैं इस बात को इससे compliment कर रही हूँ, मैं इस बात से support करूँगी, because soil is human, so there are chances the machines can also create trouble at times. Reduced need for after sale support, as products and services are more reliable, so there will be like reduced need for after sale. Increased staff morale, as employees can feel proud of their role in meeting quality standards. मैं हमेशा एक बात कहती हूँ कि whenever we deal with these technical and ideas and everything, we tend to forget, or we tend to ignore one important element, and that is the human side of the product. Yes, and that is very important. As an employee, when you are working as in a team, you really need to feel at the end of the day, you really need to have this sense of pride. You really need to feel proud of your role in meeting quality standards. And this motivation is very, very important, I believe. And if you are getting it, it means that you are working in the right community, you are working with the right group. If you are achieving this kind of self-satisfaction, इसको self-satisfaction कहेंगे ना, तो इसका मतलब है कि you are in the right court, by the way, you are working with the right kind of people, you are working with the right kind of group. So that is something very important. So prime QA skill क्या है? Prime QA skill का भी हम बात करें. Possessing the quality assurance skill set will help you incorporate these practices into your work. These key skills for test engineer and quality assurance manager, but anyone within a business can still utilize them. ये बहुत important है और हर कोई इसको utilize कर सकता है. This is what I'm saying. So जब हम बात करते हैं quality management, क्योंकि हमने शुरू से इन दोनों चीजों को हमने कंबाइन करना शुरू किया था. हमने कंबाइन किया था क्वालिटी एश्योरेंस को क्वालिटी कंट्रोल के साथ, क्वालिटी एश्योरेंस सिस्टम से हमने क्वालिटी मैनेजमेंट, क्वालिटी एश्योरेंस मैनेजमेंट की बात कर रहे हैं यहाँ. So there are basically, when we talk about them, there are basically 5 pillars of modern quality management. Number 1, process integration, which means seamless automation. Number 2, second pillar is system flexibility and extensibility. मैं फिर दोबारा वही बात करूंगी जो मैं आपको पहले कर रही थी. What is human? I'm repeating it again and again, just to make sure and just to make a room for flexibility. Target हमेशा हम एक चीज पे ही focused रहते हैं, and we try to remain focused on one thing at a time. But the recommended plan of action is अगर आप flexibility add करना चाहते हैं, तो be very much ready as a manager, as a quality control manager, as a quality assurance manager. You really need to be very much ready with your plan B as well. This is something very important, and it should never be overlooked. Number 3rd pillar is देखिए number 2 में जहाँ भी हम system flexibility की बात कर रहे हैं, हम system flexibility, okay, kindly elaborate the process of integration. Integration का process जो है, that is seamless automation. Integration का जो process है, that is where you are, आपको शायद आपने अगर आपने सुना होगा ब्लूम्स टैक्सोनॉमी के बारे में, because that is one of those taxonomies जिसको हम हर जगह पे सुन चुके हैं अब तक। अगर इसको नहीं सुना तो मैं देखिए आप, process integration is actually a stage, that's the first pillar, and modern quality management, where you believe in the thing, in a way you believe in the fact of this concept पे believe करते हैं कि आपने relevant, most relevant, irrelevant and less relevant इन चारों चीजों को इकट्ठा रख के अपना प्लानिंग का प्रोसेस शुरू करना है। अब मैं यहाँ पे ये बता दूं कि इन चारों चीजों को साथ रखने का क्या फायदा होगा जब अल्टीमेटली आपने फोकस करना है the most relevant thing. So what's the need of keeping the less relevant or irrelevant thing? देखें, जब आप प्रोसेस में होते हैं प्लानिंग की and you have started with your process of planning or planning process, तो फिर आप क्या कर रहे हैं? You are actually you are keeping everything in front of you. You are open, आप rigid नहीं हो रहे, आप biased नहीं हो रहे. You are keeping everything in front of you, and that is how you have started with the process of integration, and that would ultimately allow a seamless automation at the end as well. Number two, which is system flexibility and extensibility, जिसमें मैं plan B की बात अब कर रही थी, human factor की बात कर रही थी. अब ये देखिए, when you are going to have it and when you believe that you are going to have it, this system of flexibility, which is a second pillar of quality management system, QMS, that would ensure, that would provide you with growth and change. क्योंकि जब आप flexibility का margin already रख रहे हैं, you are keeping the margin, you are keeping a fine line, so that the element of flexibility could be dragged in if needed. Could be dragged in if needed बहुत important है. ऐसा नहीं कि आपने flexible plan बनाना है. ऐसा है कि could be dragged in when needed का मतलब ये है कि you really need to be very much ready and well prepared with everything so that
your voice is breaking.
Yes, sir.
Your voice is breaking now.
Is it clear?
Yes. No
Okay.
clear.
Okay, thank you so much, sir, for highlighting. So I was talking about the fact that I was talking about the second pillar. I was talking about the second pillar of flexibility and extensibility. That when you would have a plan B at your end, इसका ये मतलब है कि flexibility and space could be dragged in then and if needed. अब ये if needed बहुत important है. If needed का मतलब ये नहीं है कि आप if needed का मतलब actually ये है कि flexibility आप enjoy करेंगे अगर required होगी और हर plan of action में required नहीं भी होगी. So you are very vigilant. You would be in a position to enjoy growth and change very vigilantly. That is the point. Third pillar is actually centralized monitoring and management. Things may fall apart when they are not monitored, when they are not managed in a centralized system. We have people from HR department here in the participant list, and they would actually agree with me that the role of an HR department is very crucial for the progress of any organization. And why is it so? Because the HR department is actually is not there just for the hiring process. They are there for human management. So जहाँ भी human management की बात आती है, वो role एक बहुत different role. It's a combination, it's an amalgamation of human resource management, and resource management as well. So both of the things are very integral for faculty retention, retention, resource management, human resource management. So the next point, which is the fourth pillar, is compliance enablement. Full view of quality chain. That was monitoring and management, by the way. When we talk about compliance or enablement, that this is basically built-in readiness. This is what actually is needed. This is where you come down to the fact that if you are able to meet the required task or not, to complete the required task or not, do you have the set of skill? और अगर इसका जवाब नहीं है, इसका मतलब ये हरगिज नहीं है कि फिर आप you will actually quit out of the team. इसका ये मतलब है you really need more training in it, and the training would provide you with a suitable set of skills which are required of this. Number 5 is culture of quality and compliance. Top down focus on the value. This is very important. This culture which actually ensures this culture of ensuring working as a team is very important, because you know that the ultimate achievement is going to be a collaborative effort. I repeat, a collaborative effort होगा तो ultimate आपका result होगा, then you would be able to perform in a better way. So that is something which actually is required to be kept in. So some prime QA skills are number 1, attention to detail. Number 2, time management. Number 3, problem solving. मैंने बहुत शुरू में कहा था when I started giving kind of an intro of my session, I started talking about the very important fact that, while working within a team or management or as in the role of a leader, you really need to make sure that we are not here to identify the problems or the errors or to negate the fact that as a human being, you just cannot commit any error. We are here for problem solving. So whatever we are in the middle of the process of this quality assurance management, the very important factor is to ensure problem solving techniques. You really need to make sure that you are always thinking in a direction जहाँ पे आप problems को identify नहीं कर रहे, बल्कि आप solutions पे बात कर रहे हैं. आप solutions पे, if somebody there isn't any harm in discussing that you have done something wrong या आपसे कोई गलती हो गई है, मगर ये बात करना ज्यादा मौजू है कि अगर आप ये सोचें कि okay fine I've committed a mistake, so what could be the solution, आप अपने आप से पूछें. When you start thinking about a solution, तब आपकी जो error है उसका you would never become error free, of course, but there would be like less chances of committing errors in the end. Multitasking is very important because when you are working, आपने भी देखा होगा कि we human beings are designed in such a way where we try to do so many things at the same time. हम एक ही वक्त पे बहुत ज़्यादा चीजें कर रहे होते हैं. अच्छा, मोहम्मद यूनिस का क्वेश्चन है कि which one pillar is closely related to the QA function. सर रमजान का महीना है तो मैं कहूँगी कुछ ये कहना चाहती हूँ जिस तरह ये पांचों के 5 जो पिलर्स हैं, ये पांचों के 5 पिलर्स बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट. और अगर आप इन पांचों को मॉडरेटली इम्प्लीमेंट करते हैं तो आपका क्वालिटी कंट्रोल इम्प्रूव होगा. तो ये जैसे हमारे 5 दिन की सतून है, उस तरह ये हमारे 5 मैनेजमेंट के सतून है जिनका होना मॉडर्न क्वालिटी मैनेजमेंट में और एक मॉडरेट लेवल पे होना बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट. आई होप आई हैव आंसर्ड योर क्वेश्चन. Okay, faster learning, some prime QA skills include multitasking. That is something very important because multitasking we are designed in a way, हमें बनाया ही ऐसे गया है कि जहाँ पे हम एक वक्त में एक काम नहीं कर रहे होते, बल्कि हम बहुत से काम एक ही साथ एक ही वक्त में करते हैं. So that is something very important. And yes, kindly relate to 15 QMS, the lecture in a brief way. Talha, I would recommend you to, yes, I would try to touch on it as well, but that is not directly related to what we are discussing today. We can arrange a separate session, or I'll try to, keeping in view the time limit, I'll try to cover most of it. Thank you. Okay, so after learning multitasking, the QA skills actually they include written and verbal communication as well because आपने क्वालिटी एश्योरेंस और क्वालिटी मैनेजमेंट की जहाँ पे बात करते हैं तो वहाँ पे एक चीज को कभी भी इग्नोर नहीं कर सकते. हम वहाँ पे एक चीज को Adil, I'm coming back to your question. Just a minute. Let me just complete this fifth point first. कि जब हम बात करते हैं क्वालिटी एश्योरेंस की तो वहाँ पे एक चीज देखें, रिटन एंड वर्बल कम्युनिकेशन आपका इम्प्रूव होगा. और वो कैसे इम्प्रूव होगा? वो ऐसे इम्प्रूव होगा बिकॉज you have to design a project. It's ये जो सारी का सारा quality assurance management system है, quality assurance management system है या quality assurance management है, quality control है, उसमें हर 5 pillars को जब हम incorporate करते हैं, ये चीजें abstract level पे नहीं हम practice करते. और आप सब you guys are stakeholders by the way. तो आप सब मेरे से एग्री करेंगे इस बात पे कि एक्चुअली ये सारी की सारी चीजें जो हैं ये एब्स्ट्रैक्ट लेवल पे नहीं होती हैं, ये कॉन्क्रीट लेवल पे होती हैं. ये इनिशिएट होती हैं प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजमेंट के साथ. प्रोजेक्ट्स बनते हैं रिटन फॉर्म में, हर चीज it's actually written which are being presented as well. So the written and the verbal communication is actually going to be they actually get in. Number 6, ability to work as part of a team. इस पे आने से पहले मैं पहले क्वेश्चन के आंसर करना चाहूंगी जो अदील साहब ने पूछा था मुझसे. मल्टीटास्किंग से एरर्स की यानी इंफीरियर क्वालिटी के चांसेस बढ़ जाते हैं. अदील साहब, आई वुड लाइक यू टू एक्सप्लेन इट फर्स्ट ताकि फिर मैं अपना इस पे कुछ ऐड कर सकूं. अदील साहब आप हैं हमारे साथ?
जी, मैं सुन रहा हूँ आपको.
अदील साहब आप काइंडली आपने जो लिखा है उसको एक्सप्लेन कीजिएगा.
ये सेल्फ एक्सप्लेनेटरी है कि अगर कोई भी चीज अगर हम मल्टीटास्किंग करेंगे, हम 4 से 5 काम या 2-3 काम भी एक साथ अगर कर रहे होते हैं तो उसके अंदर हमें चांस ये होते हैं कि कोई एक काम जो है उसमें हमारा फोकस जो है वो खराब हो जाता है. ठीक है, तो कोई ऐसी चीजें हमसे मिस हो जाती हैं जिससे क्वालिटी के खराब होने की या रिपोर्ट खराब होने की चांस बढ़ जाते हैं.
साहब, जब हम बात करते हैं क्वालिटी, जब कंट्रोल की बात अगर हम बात करें या हम क्वालिटी एश्योरेंस की बात करें और जहाँ पे हम प्राइम क्वालिटी एश्योरेंस स्किल्स की बात करते हैं कि जो मल्टीटास्किंग है, तो यहाँ पे मल्टीटास्किंग से मेरा मतलब हरगिज ये नहीं है कि आप एट ए टाइम बहुत से काम डिफरेंट डोमेन्स के आप बहुत से काम एक साथ कर रहे हो, लेकिन इसका ये मतलब है कि it enables you to multitask in a way कि जहाँ पे आप एक रिपोर्ट अगर प्रिपेयर कर रहे हैं, लेट्स से आप एक फीडबैक रिपोर्ट ऑफ अ प्रोडक्ट आप लॉन्च के बाद उसका इफेक्टिव या कोई भी उसकी रिपोर्ट आप कर रहे हैं, क्वालिटी कंट्रोल की या क्वालिटी एश्योरेंस की कोई रिपोर्ट आप प्रिपेयर कर रहे हैं, उस रिपोर्ट को प्रिपेयर करते हुए you will be visiting you will be keeping the past, present and future all together. ये है मल्टीटास्किंग. ये है कि as a quality control manager how you try to switch your role from a leader to a manager to a writer, coming back to your role. And this is actually what is meant by multitasking. तो जहाँ पे हम बात करते हैं यस एग्जैक्टली जैसे कि यहाँ पे लिखा भी है किसी ने I think one human cannot handle more tasks simultaneously at same time despite of the fact having two hands. और जमील साहब हम यहाँ पे दो काम या एक ही वक्त में ज्यादा काम करने का देखें जब आप अपने ऑफिस में बैठे होते हैं तो you are dealing with the customers, you are attending the calls, you are attending, you are preparing the documentation as a part of your office job. आप ये सारे काम एक साथ से उन 6 hours में 6 to 8 hours में ही complete करते हैं. ये है multitasking, ये है quality assurance. और ऐसा काम करते हुए आप अपनी सारी चीजों को जब इकट्ठे हैंडल कर रहे होते हैं तो अल्लाह ताला ने आपको बनाया ही इसी तरह है. इसकी छोटी सी एग्जांपल मैं ये दूंगी. हाँ, ये मैं जरूर बात कहना चाहूंगी कि आप 100% there can be fair chances of not giving 100% to each domain of it. मगर आप अपना ही रोल ले लें. You are a man, a father, a brother, a son, a manager, and I mean a friend. So simultaneously at the same time, you are designed in such a way कि आप different multiple roles perform कर सकें. ये है multitasking. अल्लाह ताला ने आपको बनाया ही ऐसा है और इसीलिए अल्लाह ताला ने अगर हम इसे बहुत ऑर्डिनरी लेवल पे देखें तो ऑर्डिनरी लेवल पे इसीलिए अल्लाह ताला ने ज्यादा रिश्तों को हमसे मुंसलिक किया है क्योंकि अल्लाह ताला ये बेहतर तरीके से जानता है कि हम हर रिश्ते से हर ताल्लुक से इंसाफ करने की काबिलियत रखते हैं. मुजफ्फर अजीज साहब का एक क्वेश्चन है एंड दैट इज QA is all about customer satisfaction. Quality assurance is all about customer satisfaction. Of course, yes. Is that the actual purpose of QA department to fulfill the customer requirement? Sir, आपने अपना नाम नहीं लिखा लेकिन मैं इसको इस तरह से एड्रेस करूंगी कि देखें whatever we are doing and we are doing it for two reasons. Number one, customer satisfaction. Number two, Yasir Khan Saab. Number one, for customer satisfaction, of course. Number two, for organizational reputation. तो ये दोनों चीजें हमारा एक्चुअल पर्पस है क्वालिटी एश्योरेंस का. मैं रिपीट कर रही हूँ, यासिर साहब आप दोबारा अगर फॉलो कर लें. क्वालिटी एश्योरेंस डिपार्टमेंट का दो ही पर्पसेस हैं. नंबर वन, कस्टमर क्लाइंट सेटिस्फैक्शन. नंबर टू, organizational reputation. So that is something which is of greater value and which is required to be met in a greater way. Okay, coming back to the slides, where were we? I got a question, I believe. What is the organization object? Object satisfaction or what? Just a minute. I agree with all of you, and when I actually say that it's all about customer satisfaction and organizational reputation, तो इसी से सारी चीजें stem out होती हैं. यही से सारी चीजें जो है वो linked है. Everything is interlinked. मैं ऐसा हरगिज नहीं कह रही कि जो आप कह रहे हैं वो इसका मेन पर्पस नहीं है या ये साइड पर्पसेस नहीं होते. मेरा कहने का सिर्फ ये मकसद है that everything is interrelated and interlinked and you really need to give a blend of all in a very moderate level. Coming to number 6, coming to the 6th point, ability to work as part of a team. Yes, quality assurance. मैंने बहुत शुरू में कहा था कि it's not a one-man show. You really need to work within a team in the right way. You should have ability to absorb the differences and to understand those similarities, the things which are not which are common and the things which are met in such a way which couldn't be dealt positively or not in a positive way. So when you are working in a team, you learn so many things, and those so many things, out of those so many things. You learn to work as a part of team. जब आपको ये realization है, जो मैंने पहले भी mention किया, कि ultimate product सिर्फ मैनेजर का रेपुटेशन नहीं है, मैनेजर की सक्सेस नहीं है, बल्कि each and every person who is part of that team, वो उसकी success है. So you would actually develop the ability to work as a part of team. No, and definitely when you are working, and when you are trying to ensure quality, control and your quality standards. So knowledge of quality standards ultimately आप तक आ ही जाता. So that these are the things. So I think quality assurance, we've removed the quality assurance from I think quality. Yeah, exactly. Bajwa साहब बिल्कुल ठीक कह रहे हैं. And I got another quality assurance is about building confidence of customer own system and internal confidence of department itself. Yes, बिल्कुल आप ठीक कह रही हैं. This is something which is very crucial, and you know, if you don't have, जब आप client के साथ trust build कर रहे हैं, आप organizational reputation के लिए काम कर रहे हैं, और internally अगर आपका internal confidence ही कहीं shape हो रहा है, तो फिर you are not working with the right team. This is what I said earlier. Attention to details के जहाँ पे हम बात करते हैं, अब हम इन्हें attention to details की अगर हम बात करना शुरू करें, so your attention to details ensures all your tasks are completed to the business specifications. Getting seemingly minor details correct every time can prevent major problems from occurring further down the supply chain. It also prevents tasks from needing to be redone or revised to meet the requirements later. So imagine आपने redone का और revisions का जरूरत था. So ये आपको enable करता है attention to details. Time management, of course, managing your time well ensure you have adequate time to complete your tasks to the desired quality standards and confirm they comply with the specifications. It also reduces your stress, so you can focus on completing your duties well with a clear head. मैं हमेशा ये बात करती हूँ कि पाकिस्तानी जो हम being a Pakistani, we have this tendency of working when the deadlines actually approach. Again, अगर आप time management कर रहे हैं, you would not face any kind of a stress, and you would be able to focus on completing your duties well with a clear head and not with the head full of anxiety. When you meet your deadlines, you also ensure others who rely on you have enough time to meet their own deadlines without reducing their work quality. जब आपके पास वक्त कम बच जाता है और फिर आप उसको कंप्लीट करते हैं किसी भी तरह, तो बहुत सी चीजें चांसेस हैं कि मिस आउट भी करते हैं. लेकिन अगर आप टाइम मैनेजमेंट के साथ करते हैं तो फिर आपका क्वालिटी ऑफ वर्क इफेक्ट नहीं होता. Problem solving, मैंने कहा था कि management quality QAM is all about problem solving and yet can never be ignored. So problem solving skills help you find solutions if you are struggling to meet the required quality standards. A combination of creativity, number one, number two, logic, number three, critical thinking, can serve you well when challenges arise in your duties. So this is something very important in a way. अब आ जाते हैं उस बात पे जिससे हमने काफी ज्यादा बात की, multitasking. Few workers ever have a single task or responsibility, and that is for sure हम सबको पता है. So strong multitasking skills help you transition between each job you have in order of their priority without compromising quality standards. जैसा कि अगर आप मैनेजर हैं or you are done with your task and you realize that one of your team members, they couldn't complete their assigned task within the time limit, within the deadline, they were unable to meet the deadline. तो फिर आप क्या करते हैं, आप मैनेजर आप लीडर के रोल से स्टेप डाउन करते हैं, मैनेजर के रोल में आप आते हैं, और फिर आप स्टेप डाउन करके उस मेंबर के रोल में आते हैं, and you try to complete their task by helping them in a better way. So this could be an example of multitasking. Coming down to what we have discussed earlier, written and verbal communication. Strong verbal communication skills can help you explain ways to improve processes to other people so they can achieve quality set. और हम skills से belong करते हैं. which is actually corporate sector in a way, industrial sector in a way. So marketing skills बहुत ज़्यादा important है और हर चीज़ को marketing skills आप कह लें, आप customer satisfaction कह लें, आप organizational reputation कह लें, वेबसाइट से लेके आपके रिटन डॉक्यूमेंट तक हर एक चीज डिपेंडेंट है लैंग्वेज पे एंड लैंग्वेज इज योर रिटन एंड वर्बल कम्युनिकेशन सो दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट that you really need to have yeah exactly it's about everything sir it's about everything written and verbal communication की अगर हम बात करते हैं so you really need to improve more of your language skills and I believe कि industrial sector में या corporate sector में people should actually pay attention to that इस लैंग्वेज को हमेशा से स्पोकन इंग्लिश के लिए के कोर्स की तरह लिया जाता है ऐसा हरगिज नहीं है there are technical ways to go about each and every language skill that we have from listening, reading, writing, and speaking, of course. So everything is important. There isn't anything which is insignificant in terms of language. And every one of us should pay a lot of attention to our language, choice of words, because that is going to design, that is going to prove our written and verbal communication skills. So your listening skills are also crucial for understanding what your colleagues need from you. Strong written communication is required technical skill for software testing and other quality assurance roles where written quality assurance reports chart progress. So that is actually something important. And when we talk about ability to work as a part of team, quality assurance is usually a team effort. So a key quality assurance skill is the ability to work as a part of the team. You should understand the work that others in your department do or how it impacts your own. Ability to work as a part of team. पहले भी हम बात कर चुके हैं कि you have to work together. You have to make sure that you're working well together. At times there could be fair chances कि आपका difference of thought हो, difference of opinion ho, but at the end of the day, what matters is how well you have worked as a team. So this understanding helps you to collaborate to achieve your business quality standards. You may also help your teammates when they are under stress or delegate tasks to them when you have a high workload and to retain quality. So that is something very important. And knowledge of quality standard क्या है? Is actually understanding quality standards is an essential skill for quality assurance. Most employees must work within the standards set by their company. Understanding other key quality standards such as guidelines set by, any can also help to meet the expectations. अब आ जाते हैं इस simple question की, that is how to improve your quality assurance. And they are 5 in nature. ये बहुत important है. ये this is the crux of the matter. This is the gist, and that is number 1. No matter what kind of an organization you are associated with, stay focused. Number 1, when your mind is focused on your work, you are more likely to meet the required quality standard. Focus is very important. Number 2, take ownership of your work. Taking ownership of your work helps you feel more responsible for it. This added responsibility should help you pay more attention to its quality. Number 3, undertake additional training. अब मैंने ये बात पहले भी कहा था कि अगर आप आइडेंटिफाई करते हैं कि आपका जो there are certain strategies or skills that you might be lacking at. So इसमें हरगिज़ कोई भी इसमें कुछ there isn't any harm in relearning what you have forgotten or learning what you have never heard before. So जो आपने कभी नहीं सीखा उसको सीखने में और जो आप भूल गए उसको दोबारा सीखने में कोई हर्ज नहीं है. आप कोशिश करें to undertake additional trainings, the short training certifications, and participating in supplemental training can teach you new preferred practices क्योंकि हमेशा हर चीज में जब आप इन्वॉल्व होते हैं तो कुछ ना कुछ नया जरूर सीखते हैं. Remind you of some techniques you may have overlooked Training in specific quality assurance skills such as strategic problem solving can also be beneficial. The lessons you learn can help you improve the quality of your work and identify areas where your colleagues and company can. Number four, track areas of concern. Monitoring का main focus ही ये है, tracking errors and customer complaints can keep you accountable for the work you do. This practice is likely to make you more conscious of problems and work harder to eradicate them. It also allows you to notice trends that can help you reevaluate and improve your practices. And number five, schedule time for checks. Proper checks and testing can become neglected when time is limited. Scheduling time for this vital process can ensure you don't overlook it, even when you face strict deadlines. So, मुझे बहुत interesting लगता है हमेशा ये 4 stages in quality assurance and process. I have few comments in the chat box. Okay, and what were that? Okay. Okay, have I missed something, Fahad? If you could just help me. What was the question? Okay. Standards are followed. They have to define the standards. Okay. So, when I really like this 4 stages in quality assurance process, and why I do like it, it's actually the quality assurance process, the 4 stages. It starts off with plan, do, check, act. So this is the PDCA technique of quality assurance, which is very, very important. And it's actually how you start with the planning, then doing, checking, and acting. So this is a beautiful, beautiful way. So when we actually, the quality assurance process can be complicated and the list of steps can be very long, but इसको अगर हम simplify करें PDCA को, तो ये बहुत easy हो जाता है हमारे लिए, because ये इतना easy है to follow, and that is in order to simplify it, we can integrate it and check at the PDCA model, which is a common tool used for management of continuous process improvement. And here is how the stages would actually go. Yeah, Badasab, you're right. You're very right in a way. Yes. So coming down to this PDCA model, you have to make sure that you know what are the steps. So, number 1, plan. In this first crucial stage, a quality assurance technician or manager will determine clear-cut goals to produce high-quality products and suggest suitable processes to execute those objectives. At this stage, the business can predict any potential problem. ये बहुत important चीज है, because during planning you identify the pros and cons, and while doing so, you may predict any potential problem. Step 2. As the name suggests, this stage allows the implementation of the processes identified in the previous phase. The organization carries out its quality plan, which include establishing procedures, number 1. Number 2, training staff. Number 3, implementing quality controls. Number 3 is, in this stage, check. The results of the tests are checked and compared to what was expected. अब यहाँ पे आप देखो, अब revisit कर रहे हो. You are going back from where you have started. So this helps to see if the products meet the required standards. If they do, then the experts move to the final stage. But if they don't, they go back to the first stage to make necessary improvements. Number 4 and the final stage. In this final stage, the organization takes action to improve the quality plan based on the results of the previous stage, feedback के बाद जो आप करते हैं, this involves making changes to the quality of plans that अगर कुछ गलत अगर कुछ उतना सही नहीं हुआ तो इस दफा ज्यादा सही हो जाए, implementing new procedures, continuing to monitor the quality results. तो अगर आज का सेशन कि हम टेक अवेज की बात करें तो वो बहुत सिंपल है, and that is PDCA. And quality assurance method includes quality audits, charts, everything. ये सारी की सारी चीजें अगर हम टेक अवे पे बात आए और एक्टिविटी असाइन करने से पहले आज का सेशन हम 30 मिनट्स पहले वो करें क्या वो हम 30 मिनट्स या 20 मिनट्स पहले एंड करेंगे ड्यू टू रमजान, लेकिन उससे पहले एक एक्टिविटी मैं आपको असाइन करने लगी हूँ soon after this night. And I really want you guys to understand because all of the participants, आप यकीन करें आप leaders हैं, all of you are leaders. And when we talk about leaders, आपकी में आपकी personality में ये 3 C's of leadership जरूर होने चाहिए. Leadership is the process of influencing people by providing purpose, direction, and motivation to accomplish the mission and improve the organization. So, you have these 3 factors: competence, character, and competence, and commitment. You have to be a person, you have to be competent enough as a leader so that you would be able to guide your team in a better way, in the right direction. So all the ifs and buts could be clarified timely. Number 2, character. Your character is going to set a role model for others to follow. So make sure that you are not doing anything which you don't want others to, which you would never like by others as well. Commitment. You have to remain flexible but firm as a leader, and that would show your commitment to your work. So that is something very important. And as a leader, you really need to understand that quality is never an accident. It is always the result of an intelligent effort. और इस कोटेशन पे मैं आपको असाइन करने लगी हूँ एक्टिविटी. You have good 10 minutes. I repeat, you have good 10 minutes. I want you to, in your capacity, मैं ये चाहती हूँ कि आप एक मुझसे एक इंसिडेंट शेयर करें when जब आपके लिए एक टीम में एज अ टीम मेंबर काम करना मुश्किल था और आपने उस मुश्किल को आसान बनाया and you managed working as a teammate. I repeat, you have 10 minutes. You have to think about an incident where it was actually really very hard for you to work as a part of the team, but you managed to do so. और आपने कैसे मैनेज किया, आप वो अपना हमसे solution share करेंगे. So, I'm going to remain silent for next 10 minutes. And I want you to think over this question and then to share your ideas on it. Thank you so much.
Participants, you have 10 minutes from the speaker. Think through and then please answer. We are waiting. Moreover, it will be precise and short story because we have a time constraint. We have to close the session because of the Ramzan.
Assalamualaikum.
Hello.
Are you listening me?
Yes, yes, please.
Here is Fakhar from M2 Quality Assurance Assistant Manager. There were two cases in the past history that quality assurance worked on it intelligently.
Just a second.
Sorry for the interruption. I would like the participant to kindly turn on their camera because their feedback will be received.
Sorry, we have no any facility of a camera.
Then it's all right. Can I the technology? Yes, go ahead. Sorry for the interruption.
Yeah, so we have two accidents that the quality assurance take a role to save a product in a past history. One of that as a sampling stage that we look after the products. Basically in a production, the product was going to be as an error during interlacement in a weaving department. As the product was not that was weaving for the actual customer demand. So quality assurance checked out its the product phenomena and its actual customer approval. So there was a big effort and to control this through planning and through weaving team. But weaving chemists said planning department gave us these details for a product, but quality assurance make assure this product for the actual customer demand. So there was a much good effort to control this and very trouble to control this and the actual product that we have made on that time. First one is this, and second one is that the same product that was going to for a customer on a different route. So quality assurance is checked out thoroughly on its sampling procedure that was shared for a customer on its actual process. So there was a 24,000 meters order, and Alhamdulillah, quality assurance controlled this on actual sampling process route. There was two major errors that quality assurance checked out and solved this.
Okay, thank you. Any other participant?
Sir, that was really interesting the way you have managed it and the way you have highlighted it, and that actually complemented our today's session as well. I would like to hear other experiences from other participants as well. So the house is open for sharing your experiences, and we would love to hear you.
Any of the participants from different industries? I think so. We have from Scotland, from Park, from.
So I believe कि अगर एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन से एक भी हमें एक्सपीरियंस आ जाता है, एक भी एक्सपीरियंस हमें शेयर करता है, so that would add more to our exposure and experience. I would appreciate if not all of you, but at least one person from a common organization should actually share their experience with us. Because as a team, we work as a team every time we do that. And we do encounter the problems. I won't say a problem, but a situation where things may not go very well. So उसका solution क्या है? या आप किस तरह से manage करते हैं? That would be a great understanding for us.
If you allow me, can I say further for some lines about the quality assurance, madam, please?
Please continue. Thank you so much.
Yes. On slide number 22, he was asking about how to increase the quality assurance skills. On slide number 25, he was asking about the quality assurance through PDCA plan to check it. And on 28 number slide, we was discussing about the leadership with respect to the 3 C's. I think so. But I think so. Maybe I am wrong, or maybe I am right, because you have an experience of the quality. For improving the quality assurance, we may have two sort of learning. Number one is change management, and the second one is the management change. Most of the people not going towards the management change, but with respect to the change management, I think so. We have further 3 to 4 things for improving the quality. That is the change management through the organizational culture, change management through the safety culture, change management through the innovation and productivity, and if we will say another thing like that of the technical side of the change, that is the project management. What you will say about that?
We appreciate the way you have actually मुझे वो अल्फाज नहीं मिल रहे थे जिनको मैं बता सकूं कि this is what I really want the participants to come up with, right? So I really agree with what you have just said and what you have just added. And when we talk about quality assurance management and when we talk about the technical aspects of it, I mean, there are so many things which are related to it. There are 101 things which could be categorized as technical as well, and I believe that it depends on the culture and the environment of the organization which would identify at the I mean the and who would identify that is the main thing. और अगर हम slide 28 पे वापस आते हैं तो हम ये देखेंगे कि you are going to identify it. In the place of a leader, if you have these 3 C's in your personality as your personality traits, they are not the process, they are personality traits. So if you have competence over your subject, character, and a commitment with the organization, then you are going to decide that which one would complement the work culture and environment, of course.
Definitely.
There are people, because of I believe, but we do have a long list of participants, but due to Ramadan, people might not be feeling like sharing their knowledge, or they might be hesitating. You can always write in the chat box if you really would like to. And yes, you can contact me whenever you would like to. If there is anything that you would like to talk about in terms of quality assurance management, my email ID is there on the screen, and my details were there in the brochure as well. And I'm really very thankful to NPO for organizing such an interesting session. And I would like to mention here that normally Ramadan में इतना high number of participants नहीं देखा जाता, लेकिन the topic in itself is very captivating that it engaged everyone. So thank you so much from my side, and over to NPO now for the group picture. I would like all of the participants to turn on your cameras so that NPO would be able to capture your picture. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. It is requested to all of the participants to on your cameras for group photo for